Hey guys, and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to talk about Unit 8. Unit 8, we're going to revise some questions. Let's take a look at the first ones. Here, it's about measure and shapes, okay? So 8.1 is about metric measures. First, let's take a look at the units that we're going to talk about. Here we have kilometers, millimeters, centimeters, meters, milligrams, tons, grams, kilograms, liters, and milliliters. Let's take a look at the first question here. Copy and complete. 6 centimeters equals how many millimeters? We have to understand to convert between units, we need to know that each centimeter has 10 millimeters inside of it. So to multiply or to find how many millimeters inside 6 centimeters, we multiply by 10. So this one should be multiplied by 10 here, 6 times 10. And the answer will be 60. It will be 60. Let's put it here. So it's 60 millimeters. Now, next one, kilometers to meters. Now, inside 1 kilometer, we have 1,000 meters. So 9 kilometers or 9 kilometers will be multiplied by 1,000. And the answer will be 9,000. 9,000. Let's put it here. So this one should be 9,000 meters. Here, so to turn from the bigger one to the smaller one, we multiply. But if we turn from the smaller one to the bigger one, we have to divide. So here we know that each centimeter has 10 millimeters. So 80 millimeters to turn it into centimeters, we have to divide by 10. So the answer will be 8 centimeters. Same idea with all of these. So basically, if you turn from the bigger one to the smaller one, you multiply. And to turn from the smaller one to the bigger one, you divide. That's it for these units. Let's move on to the next ones. Same idea, same idea. Same idea, you have to understand what's the metric change between them and then use it. For example, 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters, as it says here. 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So 7 liters, you just have to multiply it by 1,000, you'll get 7,000 milliliters. And 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. It means to turn from grams to kilograms, you have to divide by 1,000. So 6,000 divided 1,000 equals 6 kilograms. Same idea with all the metric units. Here, for each pair of length, work out which is shorter. So here we have 5 meters and 400 centimeters. To compare them, they must have the same units. So to compare two lengths or two units or two measurements, you need them to have the same units. So for example, here 5 meters, I'm going to turn it to centimeters. And to turn meters to centimeters, I'm going to multiply it by, very good, 100. So 5 times 100 equals 500 centimeters. And then I compare it to the other unit. So which one is shorter here? Very good. The 400 is shorter than the 5 meters. Same idea with all of them. Just make them have the same units and then compare them. Here, this one, 6 kilometers and 8,000 meters. So I'm going to turn the kilometers into meters by multiplying by 1,000. So it's going to be 6,000. And then I compare them. Which one is shorter? It's this one, which is the 6,000 meters. Now, let's move on to the next question. Uh, Here are five, the heights in meters are 5 students. Write the mode. Now, the mode and the median, these are handling data questions, but maybe they are important for you. The mode is the most frequent. Most frequent, it means the most repeated number. When I look at the data, I find out that 1.5 is the most repeated. So the mode is 1.5 uh, meters. Now they want it in meters, so I'm gonna write 1.5 meters. And in centimeters, to turn meters into centimeters, I just multiplied by 100. So I multiply 1.5 by 100, and the answer will be 150 centimeters. 150 centimeters. Focus on the steps of multiplying. Work out the median. Median means what? You have to put them in order of size and then find the one in the middle. So let's put them in order of size. The smallest one is what? It's 1.5. And then 1.5. And then after that, we have 1, 1.53, and then 1.54, and then 1.55. Now here I put them in order of size from the smallest, and then I need the median. The median means the one in the middle, the one in the middle. So when I look at the data here, I find out that this one is the one in the middle, 1.53 meters. Now I'm going to write it in meters, so 1.53 meters. And to turn it to centimeters, I just multiply it by 100. So the answer will be 153 centimeters. And this is how you answer a question like this. Now, question 9 is about simplifying ratios. And simplifying means make them the same units and then divide them as much as possible or simplify them as much as possible. So, for example, here, 3 centimeters and 1 meter. To simplify this, first I have to make them the same units, which is centimeters. So this one centimeters, I'm going to make this centimeters. So it's going to be 3 centimeters, 2. 1 meters, I want to turn it to centimeters. I'm going to multiply it by 100. So the answer is 100 centimeters. Now, this is the first step, which is what? Writing them in the same units. And then trying to divide them by the common factor, in which here 3 and 100, they don't have anything in common. So they're going to stay like this, 3 to 100. Okay. Now, this one here, 50 kilograms and 5,000 grams. I'm going to turn the kilograms into grams by multiplying by 1,000. So it's going to be 50,000 grams. And the other one is 5,000 grams. Now, after doing this, I'm going to divide them as much as possible or simplify them as much as possible. I can remove the zeros together. 3 zeros will be removed with 3 zeros. And then I have 50 and 5. I'm going to divide them by 5. Divide by 5 is going to be 10. Divide by 5 is going to be 1. So divide this by 5 is going to be 10 grams. And then divide this by 5 is going to be 1 gram. And this is the simplest ratio or the simplest ratio that we have here. For these, you have to do the same idea, turn them into the same unit. Most likely the same unit will be the smaller unit. It's easier to simplify. And then simplify them or divide them as much as possible as long as you don't have decimals. And this is the idea of simplifying ratios. Now, let's move on to the next question. Now, basically, the questions will have the same ideas, turning units into each other and then working with them. For example, this one, problem solving, the diagram shows 3 jugs full of water, jug 1, 2, and 3. This one has 3 liters. This one 750 milliliters, 500 milliliters. Using only these jugs, how can you end up with 2,500 milliliters in the largest jug? In the largest jug. So first, I have to make them have the same units. So 3 liters means what? Very good. Means 3,000 milliliters because each liter is 1,000 milliliters. Now, I want to, how can you end up with 2,500 milliliters? So I want to remove 500 milliliters from here. So I have to put it in this jug, but they are full of water. The idea here is 1,750 milliliters in the largest jug. Okay, now they gave us a hint here. Converting the, so all the units are the same. Yeah. Okay. So basically, you're gonna, this one is, you need to remove 500 from here. So you put it in this one. Okay. Yes, you put it in this one. And if you want 1,750 milliliters in the largest jug, so you're gonna use one, 2 of these, and 1 of this. Okay. So 2 of these, 1 of this inside this jug. Okay. Now, I don't think these questions are important for you in the exams, but you just have to understand the idea. When you work on something, you have to make them have the same units. Now, let's move on to the next one. Here we have 8.2 perimeters or perimeter. Perimeter means the outside of a shape or the outside of something. Now let's start with naming these regular polygons. This is a triangle, square, pentagon, hexagon, and then this one has uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this one has 8. So it's an octagon, like an octopus, and they are regular polygons. And the meaning of regular means all the sides are the same. So all the angles are the same. That's the meaning of regular polygons. Now let's start with these questions. Find each side marked with a box. It means fill the gaps. Basically, when you fill the gaps with these shapes, you have to look at the whole line. For example, this line here, line the 12, is facing these two lines together. It's facing these two lines together. And so this one is a 5, and this one is missing. So basically, I just subtract 12 minus 5, and I will get this line. So I'll say 12 minus 5 equals 7. So this one is 7 centimeters. Same idea with this one. This line here, let's see. This line, the 6 centimeters, is facing the 4 and the small line here. So basically, I just subtract them, 6 minus 4, to find the small line here. So 6 minus 4 will equal 2. So this one is 2 centimeters. And this is how you find the missing lines in a shape. Focus on this because you're going to use this method if they're asking for the perimeter of the shape or the area, or sometimes both of them together. Same idea here. To find the missing lines here, let's remove this. Here, this one is 15, and it's facing the 7, the 5, and the missing line. So basically, what do? You add the 7 and the 5, and then subtract them from 15. So 7 plus 5 equals what? Equals 12. And then subtract it from 15, it will equal 3. So the missing line here is 3 centimeters. Same idea with the other lines here. You'll see that this line here is 5. Sorry, let's make it red. I want to make it red so you can see it. So this one is 5, and this one is 6. And together they are 11. Together they are 11. So here we have 11 on this side, the red ones, 11 centimeters. And they are facing what? They are facing these two lines, the 2 and the missing line. So basically, to find the missing line, what do? I add 6 on 5, which is 11, and then subtract 2 out of it. So 11 minus 2, and the answer is 9. So this one is a 9 centimeter line. And this is how you find the missing length or length of these lines. Now let's move on to the next question here. Calculate the perimeter of each regular polygon using the given side length. So I want to find the perimeter. To find the perimeter, it means you have to find all the lines and then add them all together. That's the meaning of perimeter of shapes. So perimeter, find all the lines and then add them together. This is a regular polygon. It means all the sides are the same. It means this one is 2, this one is 2, and this one is 2. So we have 3 2s. So we add them together to find the perimeter. So here we add 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6 centimeters. And this is how you find the perimeter of a regular polygon. So all the sides are the same. It means all of them are 2s. So we add them together, it's 6. Same idea here. We have 5 sides, and one of them is 6. So all of them are 6s. So I just add them all together or multiply them by 5. So 6 times 5, because I have 5 sides, it will equal 30 centimeters. Now, same idea here. How many sides do we have? We have 6 sides. And each one of them is 5. Same idea. I'm going to multiply the 5 by the 6. It will give me 30 centimeters. Okay. So each one of them is 5. And all of them are 6 sides. So I multiply them to get the perimeter. Same idea here. Here we have 8 sides, and each one is 4. So we multiply the 4 by the 8. We will get 32 centimeters. And this is how I find the perimeter of regular polygons. Let's move on to the next one. Same idea, work out the perimeter of each of these shapes. Same idea, this is a square. So 6, 6, 6, 6, multiply 6 by 4, it's 24. Here, this is a rectangle, focus on rectangles. In rectangles, the opposite lines are equal. So this one is a 22, and this one is an 8. Now, to find the perimeter, you need to add all of these lines together. So add 8 plus 8 plus 22 plus 22. So 8 plus 22 is 30. 8 plus 22 is 30. So 30 plus 30 is 60 millimeters. And focus in perimeters, we add the lines to find the perimeter. Same idea here. This one is 1.8. This one is 2.4. Add all of them together, you'll get the perimeter. Now let's move on to the next question. Work out the perimeter of each shape. Same idea. All of them are regular. It means sides are equal. All of these are fives. Just count how many fives do you have. So here, this is a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 5 millimeter sides. I'll multiply 5 by 10 and I'll get 50 millimeter. And that's the perimeter of this shape. Same idea here. This one is the same as this one. So 3, 3. And this one is 4.2. So this one is 4.2. And by that, I have to add them together to get the perimeter. Same idea here, that's an isosceles trapezium. So this means that this line is the same as this line. So that's a 3.2. Now, after doing this, you can add them together to find the perimeter, but focus on one thing. They must all have the same units. They must all have the same units. So this one is a centimeter, 3.2 centimeter. This one is a centimeter. This one is not in centimeters. It's in millimeters. So you have to turn it into centimeters to make them all the same units. How do you turn millimeters into centimeters? You do that by dividing by 10. So divide 12 by 10. As we said, to turn from the smaller one to the bigger one, you divide. To turn from the bigger one to the smaller one, you multiply. So 12 divided 10 will give you 1.2 centimeters. So basically, this one is a 1.2 centimeter. And then you add all of them to get the perimeter of the shape. That's it for this question. I hope you understood the idea. Let's move on to the next one. Now here, they will give you shapes which are not regular or irregular shapes. In these shapes, you're going to try to find the missing lines and then find the perimeter of the shape. So the missing line here, you'll see what is it opposite to, okay? And when we say opposite, it means up and down or left and right. For example, to find A, I can see that on the left side, there's a 4 and a 2. 4 and 2 together, they are what? Very good, they are 6. They're facing or they're opposite to the 4 on the and the A on the right side. This means what? This means this 6 must equal this. So 6, 4 and 2 are 6. Subtract 4, it will give me 2. So this is a 2. This A is a 2. Same idea, I'm going to do or find the lines which are up and down. Here I have a 2 and a 4, which is up, facing two lines which are down, the 4 and the B. Same idea here. To find these lines, as we said, I'm going to do what? Very good. I'm going to find the missing line, and then you can find the perimeter of the shape. So to find the missing line here, that's a 2 and a 4. When you add them together, they're going to be what? They're going to be 6. They're going to be 6. And then 6 minus this 4 will give you a 2 here. And this is how you find the missing lines. And then to find the perimeter, you just add them all together. And that's the idea of this question. So to add them all together, let's start from this 2. So 2, 6, 10, 12, 14, 18, 22, 24. So the whole idea is adding all the lines together. Before that, you have to find the missing lines or the missing sides. Now let's move on to the next question. Now, these questions, they have the same idea. Find the missing lines and then find the perimeter. Same idea. We don't have to repeat it again. Okay. As you can see here, the diagram shows a right angle triangle, 5 centimeters, 13 centimeters, and 12 centimeters. Four of these triangles are put together to make a shape like this. Calculate the perimeter of the shape. So basically, to find the perimeter, I'm going to find the lines or the values of each line. When you look at the shape, you'll see that this one is 13, which is the height. So this one is 13 here. This one is 13. This one is 13. This one is 13. And to find the perimeter, I just have to find all the lines or the outlines and then label them and then add them together. So here 13, 13, 13, and 13. Now, I need to find the missing line, which is here, this line. And I have four of this line. It's very important. Focus on this, okay? So to find this line, I need to take this line, the whole line, which is 12, as you can see in this triangle, and then subtract the small line from it, which is here. I want to subtract this from it because this one is inside. I don't need it because it's not on the perimeter, which is the 5. So I just subtract 12 minus 5. So the whole thing is 12. Subtract from 5 to get this one, the blue side. So I'm going to say 12 minus 5 will equal 7. Will equal 7. So this blue line is 7. 7, 7, 7, 7. So after finding the missing lines, now I can find the perimeter of the whole shape by adding all the lines together. So here, let's label them. So this and this will be 20. 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 So we have four 20s. When you add them together, 4 times or multiply by 20 will equal 80. And because it's in centimeters, the answer should be in centimeters. Focus on the units. If they are the same, you can do these steps directly. If they're not the same, make sure that you make them the same and then do the steps that you need. And this is how you find the perimeter of shapes. Now let's move on to the next lesson. 8.3, area of shapes. Now, the area of shapes means what? It means what's inside of the shape, what's inside of the shape. We talked about the perimeter. We said that the perimeter of a shape means what's outside of the shape. But the area means what's inside the shape. Now, let's take a look at some questions here. Perimeters, we already did these. We don't have to talk about them. Now, find the area of each shape by counting squares. Give the units. Now, each square is 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. So when you count a square, you count it as 1. You count it as 1. So this means what? This means this square here is 1 centimeter square. This one is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. So when you count them together, you have 8 squares. So the answer will be 8 centimeter square. 8 centimeter square. And this is how you find the area on a centimeter grid or 1 centimeter grid. Same idea here. You just count how many squares you have, and these squares will give you the idea of the area. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So together they are 6 centimeter square. 6 centimeter square. And this is how you find the area using this grid or the square grid, which 1 centimeter. Now let's move on to the next question. Calculate the area of each rectangle. Now, first we have to make sure that they have the same units, and then you can work. Well, the work is what? The area is width times length. Width times length. With rectangles and squares, it's the same. So the area is the width times the length. So here to find the area, first I must make sure that they have the same units, centimeter, centimeter. And then I'll write area equals width times length, like this. And then the area will equal, the width is what? It's 4.1. And then multiplied by the length, which is 4.1. And then I put them on top of each other and I start multiplying like this. Focus on these steps because calculators are not allowed. So you have to multiply by yourself using papers. So here. So I want to multiply these by each other. I'm going to do one for you, and the rest you already know the ideas of multiplying. So 1 times 1 is going to be 1, and then 1 times 4 is going to be 4. And then 4 times 1 is going to be 4, and then 4 times 4 is going to be 16. It's going to be 16. Okay. Now you add them all together like this. So 1 will be here, 1. 4 plus 4 is 8. And the 16 will go down like this, 16. And by that, I finished multiplying. Now I want to know where is the place or where should I put the decimal point? Focus on these steps because you need them in multiplying decimals. When you multiply decimals like these, you'll have what? You'll have an answer and you need to put the decimal point in its place. Now, how do you know the place of the decimal point? You come to the question here, you take the whole numbers, the whole numbers. You don't take the decimal numbers, you take the whole numbers. You multiply them by each other. So 4 times 4 is what? 4 times 4 is 16. How many numbers are here? We have two numbers. It means the decimal point should be after two numbers. So here 1, 2, I put the decimal point over here. And this is how you multiply decimals and put the decimal point after multiplication. Now, let's move on. Same idea with these. To find the area, make sure that they have the same units and multiply them width by length. Same units and then width by length. Same units. If you don't have the same units, you have to make them the same. So here, 8 centimeters and here 20 millimeters. Now here the answer should be in centimeter square. Don't forget this. If the units are in centimeter, the answer will be in centimeter square. If the units are in millimeters, the answer should be in millimeter square. Now, I'm going to turn the millimeter into centimeter. To turn a smaller unit into a bigger one, I have to divide. So I'm going to divide the 20 by what? Very good. By 10. And the answer will be 2 centimeters. So this line here is 2 centimeters. This line is 2 centimeters. To find the area, I'm going to multiply the 2 by the 8. And the answer is 2 times 8. And the answer is 16. And because I use centimeter, it's going to be centimeter square. And that's the idea of finding the area of rectangles. Now let's move on to the next question. Now, for questions like this here, you'll have two shapes. You'll have two shapes. Or the shape will be a mixture of two shapes or three shapes. You have to divide them into two shapes, find the area of one of them and the area of the other one, and then add them together to find the area of the whole shape. So let's take a look at one of the questions. We will do this the other one. Find the area of the shape. So first, we separate the shapes. Let's separate them from here. And then we find the missing lines so we can find the area of both shapes. So this one, we will call it A1 or area 1. And this one should be A or area 2. So let's find the missing lines. First, we can see that this 6 here, the one on the right, is opposite to this 3 and this line. This means what? It means 6 minus 3 will give me what? Will give me this 3. Give me this 3. So I'm going to write it here. So this one is 3 meters. Same idea here. I want to find this line. So I'm going to use a different color so you can see it. So the 8 is opposite to what? It's opposite to the 4 and this line. This means to find this line, I have to subtract. So 8 minus 4 will give me what? Very good, will give me 4. So this line is 4 meters, 4 meters. Now, after finding the missing lines, I can find the area of each part alone. So, to find the area of the parts, I have to multiply the width by the length. So let's find A1 and then find A2. So, first, A1, I have a width of 4 and a length of 3. So the area of A1 is 3 times 4, which is 12, and the unit is meters, so meters squared. Meters squared. So this one is 12 meters squared. And this one here, the area or A2, I have to multiply the width by the length, which is 4 by 6. And when I say width and length, it has to be the total or the whole width and length. I can't use 3 because I'm missing this line. So I have to use the whole lines here, 4 and 6. So I'm going to multiply 4 by 6. And the answer is 24. And because it's meters, so meters squared. Now, after finding A1 and A2, I just have to add them together. So I'm going to add 12 plus 24, and it will give me 36 meters squared. And this is the area or the total area of the whole shape. And this is how you answer a question like this. I hope you understood the idea of the questions, and I hope you understood the whole unit. That's it for Unit 8. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.